Hey folks, Dr. Rob Jones here, heydrrob.com. This is part 2 of flexion intolerance correction. Again, if you have flexion intolerance, you don't quite have a disc bulge, you've just been bending too much, okay? We went over all the movements, okay? A quick review. If you bend here and you feel a stretch here, you know you're doing damage. If you bend with a proper hip hinge and you feel a stretch here, you're not doing damage. It is that simple. You can control that by changing your behavior and just taking a little bit of extra time before you do things. I call it SOS. Stop, observe and assess the task, start the task, okay? SOS. It will take you less than a half a second. I've got to bend over to pick up that thing off the floor. Instead of just dumping my chest, I'm gonna think really quickly, okay, I can probably use a golfer's pickup, kick the leg back. You take that out, you're not gonna have any back problems. Or if you do have back problems, it will start getting better. Now, you can control that. What you can't control is when you go to a fitness class at your local gym or Parks and Rec Center, or you turn on one of the celebrity fitness DVDs, okay? I'm not gonna call any names out here, but there are so many bad exercises being done by the experts, it blows my mind, okay? Again, I mentioned in a video previously that I had a 10-year-old girl a couple of weeks ago come in with a flexion intolerant back. I had another 10, 11-year-old come in with a confirmed disc bulge because they were doing the wrong exercises with her. Coaches were making her do flexion-based exercises that we all did, okay, as youngsters, okay? We want to work the abs, yes. We want to work the core, yes, but we don't want to flex it. So if you have a flexion intolerant back, remember we talked about the symptoms, you want to avoid what I call backbreakers. Okay, again, we know we always want to keep the spine in lordosis. Backbreakers. This is going to probably drop a bunch of jaws. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. My fitness instructor does that to work our core. Well, here's my number one backbreaker. Sit-ups. What do sit-ups do? They flex the spine over and over while you're on your back. It's a brain dead exercise. Research shows that it's 80% hip flexors and only 20% abs. And it's all lumbar flexion. Take it out, it's horrible. Number 2, Russian twists. What? I can't do Russian twist, Dr. Rob, but they shred my obliques. Well, they may work your obliques a little bit, but what do? They put you into a V-sit. Most people aren't strong enough to hold lordosis, so they drop back and they twist. And we talked about how the spine really doesn't like to flex, but at that level, if you remember a previous video, I talked about the facets in the spine are lined up like this to flex and extend. They're not designed to rotate. When you try to rotate, those facets lock, and guess what? The disc starts to do this, and you're gonna pump out your disc, end up with a nice disc bulge. So take out Russian twists. Number 3, crunches. What? I can't do crunches anymore? No, you can't. Well, you can. You can do whatever you want. It's free country. But if you do crunches, you're going to flex your spine over and over and over again to work your abs. And guess what? You're going to break your discs down. So even if you do crunches on a ball, I get this question all the time from patients, but I put my back on a ball, so that must be safe. It doesn't matter if you start on the ball or the floor. It's the motion that causes the problem. If I take somebody with flexion intolerance or a bad disc and I create flexion from a crunch, they get pain, okay? It's a bad move, okay? No crunches. This one is huge in the fitness world right now. Burpees, okay? My most dreaded exercise. What does a burpee do? It's awesome for getting your heart rate up. It really is. It's awesome for teaching you to get off the floor really quickly. So once in a while, if a car's coming at you and you're on the ground, you tripped, yes, by all means, do that one burpee and get up and get the heck out of there so you don't get run over. But if you're doing a burpee, you are going down to the ground in full flexion, you're going legs out, and then you're coming back in full flexion again, and then you're coming back up. I had a patient just last week who came in with severe acute lower back pain because she was on a program that was having her do hundreds of burpees every single workout. I'm telling you right now, don't do burpees. They are backbreakers, okay? Now, there's a couple more. If you check out my website, heydrrob.com, I've got a whole list of backbreakers, but the last one are going to be, or the last ones, hanging leg raises. Now this one has a caveat. Okay, this is kind of a trick question here. Hanging leg raises, good or bad? Sort of good, sort of bad. If you're on an abdominal board machine and you're propped up here and your legs are hanging, if you're holding on to something and you're doing leg raises, if you stop right here, okay, 90 degrees, you're gonna be okay, all right? It will work your core a little bit. It's not awesome, but it'll work your core a little bit. If you come up here and you try to crunch just like this and really work your abs, you're going into full flexion, just like the patient who hurt himself putting on his underwear, because you're flexing from the top and from the bottom. So again, hanging leg raises, we're gonna take those out if your program calls for you to do them all the way up. If it calls for you to be here, you're probably gonna be okay. Okay, there's many, many more that we can cover on this, and I could be here all day saying, don't do this exercise, don't do that exercise, don't do that exercise. What I want you to do is check out my website, heydrrob.com, look at the backbreaker list, and if that exercise is on there, just don't do it. It's that simple. If your spine is moving, you are causing injury to the spine. I don't care if you're working your core or not. Okay, so when you go to the gym and you see that ab machine, you see everybody do it because they've got, they want to get rid of their Christmas flab. So it's the first year we're going to melt our belly. They're going to sit down and get on that machine that crunches. They're going to sit on the other one that twists. If there's a machine in the gym that claims to work the abs and the obliques and it's flexing you and twisting you, please don't do it, because again, it's moving your spine. So again, follow the flexion intolerant video from before on how to move. This one on the exercises not to do. And then we're going to do one more here pretty quick. And I'm going to show you what to do to work your core to get you stronger so you don't hurt. So until next time, protect your back.